So excited and pumped to be here. I appreciate you very much having me on.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am excited. And first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to agree to come here and teach us things that we need to understand in order to grow our brand with video. Before we even talk about that, well, we always say that every single guest is a professor. So you are going to be our professor today. And as a professor, Kevin, take a minute. Introduce yourself to the folks that do not know you and want to discover exactly who today's speaker is.
Yeah, well, and I appreciate that. So I'm pretty boring, so everybody just kind of sit down and get ready. But my name's Kevin Kolbe, and I'm a content creator and a video coach. I simply like to just help creators create, get into video, share their gifts, and make an impact in the world. I think everybody has gifts, and everybody's different on what they want to share and what they want to get out there. I work with a lot of nonprofits, a lot of businesses, a lot of solo creators. I started in radio and was in television for a long, long time. Creative director. My last gig in TV was a creative director at a Fox station, and position went away, and I just decided to start my own business. And so it's a video production, coaching, marketing kind of business that I run by myself. And let me just clear something up. I am not Willie Nelson. Just in case, I want to put that out there right now. It always comes up, and we've never met, but but that's me.
That's funny,
Married,
man. I
three
really like
kids,
that.
and we have a good time. Have a good time.
Well, fantastic. Thank you for taking the time to introduce
Sure.
yourself. And man, oh man, you're the right person to talk about video. And I'm so glad that we have you right here because your background is all about podcast, audio, and video. So
Yeah.
this is amazing, right? Of course, I'm looking in the comment section, and we have amazing folks in the comment section. Let's go ahead and give them some shout out. I'm looking at Samara. How's it going, Samurai? What's going on, folks? I have PopNet, EG. Hi to you as well. Thanks for being in the comment section. And look at that, we got Miss Jillian Morin in the comment section, and I love what she's saying. She's like, "You guys are doing this show just for me." I know, right? Just for you. And I appreciate you being in the comment section. Thank you for connecting with us, folks. If you have any question while we're discussing with the guest, go ahead and snap that in the comment section and we will ask him that. He said, "Hey, JP, I am available to answer any questions that your
Anything.
guests might have, that your team viewers might have or listeners. So let's do it. Let's take advantage while he's here, right? Talking about video.
Hmm.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, right? Because we're talking about branding, we're talking about video, building your brand with video. Let me ask you this. What does branding mean to you, right? Before we even continue, what is branding in your definition of terms?
It can mean a lot of things, and I think it's changed a lot over the years. I think at one point it was your brand was like your name and your logo, and but now, I mean, to me, it's always been a promise. I heard, I think it was the head of Apple or somebody a few years ago that said, the personal brand is not a thing anymore. And I thought, really? Are you kidding? I mean, I would rather deal with a person a lot of times than a company. So,
Mm-hmm.
I just see a brand especially if like my brand is me. And when I was naming my company, I decided to call it Kevin Colby Media because I always joke that, I've got a good shot of always remembering at least two of the three words in the name because it's named after me. But then my oldest son said, "Well, Dad, if you ever sell the company, nobody's going to want to buy it. It's named after you." And I'm like, "Well, thanks, son, for putting me in my place." But to me, I mean, a brand is like a promise. It's kind of like what you stand for. I mean, you can strip it down to so much to like who you're for, who you work with, who you're not. The words and the sacred words and things like that. But to me, it's just I don't know. I'm an Apple guy. I'm an Amazon guy. There's certain things I like and buy, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy into the brand. I do it because it works for me. I mean, I'm a Mac guy because Mac just works for me. I love it. I use Canon cameras because I like them. So I think it also is about a comfort level. I think brand has been misused a lot over the years. But now, I mean, I follow people. I don't follow brands. I don't follow channels. I get a kick out of people.
Right, right, absolutely. Like we always say, people actually resonate with people. They buy
Oh
people. They
yeah.
don't just buy
Yeah.
a product.
Yep.
So you can't separate yourself from your messaging. If not, you're gonna have a hard time selling your product to people because your story
Absolutely.
matters.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. Thanks for that. I really, really appreciate it. So now we're talking video today.
Yeah.
Where we're looking into how to build our brand, right? The things that you just talk about. In my own words, I'll say it is the DNA of your company, right? It is everything you stand for. Is the way you
Hmm.
breathe, you move, your beliefs, all of that. That's your brand. And as people identify with that, well, now we want to use video. Now let me ask you though, why video? What's so special about video in today's era to help
Well,
build our brand?
yeah, first of all, I mean, I think most people are visual people. I mean, I know I am, and we think that way, we dream that way. And video is, and look, I mean, I love audio, I love podcast. I mean, I started in radio before I ever got into television and into video. Blogs are, there's nothing against blogs and things like that, but there is absolutely positively no medium like video. Video encompasses everything. I mean, a blog post is great, but you have to take the time to read it. And sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
unless you have a lot of time, you don't really get to know more about that person. Audio is great, but you can only, like when you were doing your intro, you were like, "Well, I'm showing you how to sign up, but if you're listening to this."
Mm-hmm.
But then video, oh my word, video can cut across emotions. Um, you know, I mean, if anybody in the audience has ever watched like maybe a foreign language film or show from a language they don't understand, you could still watch it, but it's harder. It might be harder to listen to a podcast or read something if I don't speak that language.
So true.
And
Mm-hmm.
video just cuts through everything. And a huge bonus to video, you can take the video and then strip out the audio for podcast and then transcribe it for a blog. You can't take the blog and turn around and make it video unless you then shoot video and stuff like that. So it just, it's probably, I want to say the easiest way, not saying it's just that easy, but it's the easiest way I think to get in front of anybody anywhere in the world is with video because, most of us have phones that are cameras. So we've always got video on it. It's just and it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting. It can be short, long, it can be moving, it can be entertaining, it can be educating. It's just the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. Definitely, video has become the go-to
Oh
solution
yeah. Yeah.
for a lot of platforms, right? A lot of
Yep.
things where communication, where we want to communicate, video has become the preferred medium to use, right? And so now let me ask you this though, understanding that has become the preferred.
Mhm.
A lot of people will tell you, well, I've been posting videos on YouTube for X amount of years, or social media. Does that automatically mean that I have a brand, Kevin? Or if no, then how can the video help me exactly?
Well, I think if you're going to do that, first of all, I think anybody that even is not sure about what they want to do, but they're starting to do something, is already way ahead of the person that just keeps thinking about it. One of the things I say all the time is the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time to start is today. And just because though you put out a video out there doesn't mean you have a brand. I mean, I think you need to have an idea about, what do you want to do and who you want to talk to. And I'm kind of probably on the fringe about, creating your avatar and things like that because I can shatter your world on some of that, but I do
Hmm.
think that you want to talk to people. But yeah, I mean, I think it takes time. I mean, I think that the mistake people make is that, they start throwing a couple of videos up and then they're trying to sell something and
Right,
nobody
right.
knows you and there's no trust there and well, you should trust me. I don't even know what your name is. I don't why should I trust you, you know and so I think it takes time to build that, but video can build that because another benefit of it, you get to see the person. You look into the eyes. I mean, even though I'm looking at a camera, you're looking at the person talking to you, and we crave that, even in the world we're in now, where a lot of it's gone remote. There's still something about video that feels like it's bringing us together.
True, true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, video is just that one way
Hmm.
of connecting at a
Yeah.
more personal level. Even
Yep.
though podcast is a very personal experience, right?
Hmm.
Having somebody in your ear, intimate, but that video adds a whole different layer of emotions
Oh yeah.
to the audio, to the what you're listening to, right? Can make you
Yeah.
feel things, more things, right? If you're already liking the audio, imagine what it will do if you could see, because we all, if we cannot see, we can have our own, definition or
Yeah.
description or imagination of what
Yeah.
that person might look like or not.
Yeah.
But that, if that helps connect more with the person, you can
Well,
vibe
and you
better
have to
with the
work a
person.
little, if I can, you have to work a little harder at video too, because
True.
if I mean, so that an advantage of audio is like if you were telling a story, you could get really, into description because you don't have to worry about visuals to go with it.
Hmm.
But if I'm doing that same story with video, I have to think about the visuals that go with it, and even if we're just talking, do I want to bring anything else in or something like that? So it adds more levels. Video adds more layers, if you will, but I think those just hit all of our senses in a different way, that we're like, man, even if the video's not good, you're like, oh, okay, but I see what the guy was talking about, and it's just different.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you have been doing this for years, meaning you have been in the video production industry,
Go ahead,
audio
say it. I'm
production
old.
industry
I'm
for
old.
years.
I'm old. Just say it. You're an old dude. I'm okay. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I've been doing
for
it a
the
long
folks
time.
that are wondering, okay, he's been doing this for years, and he decided now to use video as his way to help people. How
Mhm.
exactly are you helping others? What are you doing with the video? How are you doing this? Let us know.
So
We
that's
want to
a
learn from that.
that is an absolutely great question, and I love that. And I've never been asked that before. So a lot of my clients that I coach, some of them have never done video ever. I mean, other than like a Zoom call, and I don't consider that video. I consider that a Zoom call. But they understand that there's a bigger way of reaching people, and some have wanted to do video podcasts. Some have just wanted to better understand, how to use a camera, how to use a mic, how to just be themselves. I've had some that are storytellers, but they've never told it in a platform like this. So a lot of times that's what I'm doing with them. I take them through, we talk about the gear they have, maybe what they need. I never try and sell them on anything that I don't think they really don't need, because you don't need a ton of gear. You don't need a ton of expensive gear, but just trying to then help them so I can be their cheerleader so they can see the potential that's them, that was always there. That's one way. Another way, though, is when producing videos myself as a content creator. The funny thing is, and it's a small thing, but hopefully it'll resonate. I used to call myself a video coach, content creator, and not too long ago I switched it to content creator, video coach, because at the heart of what I do, I create content, and I
Hmm.
create content for myself. I could create content for my channel to help other people. Like I just did a video today about just how you erase your Mac before you sell it, because that's what I was having to do, right? And I'm like, well, maybe somebody needs to know this. I don't know. I had to look
Right,
it up.
right.
So you educate and you entertain that way. But I also use it then to help. I work with a lot of nonprofits, and nonprofits are just, I've got a heart for nonprofits, and I love to help them be able to impact more people, because they're already doing phenomenal work, and then they can see the power of, wow, we managed to tell that story and it only took a few minutes, but look at the impact. So those are different ways that I use it there.
Now I do know, and thanks for that. Thanks for that explanation. One thing that has come quite a bit, right, in my career personally, in media, is having people ask, and those were genuine questions, right? Because you got to
Hmm.
think about different generations, right, doing
Oh
this
yeah. Yeah.
today, and the way we understand the world, and we do business in this world, everything have shifted, right?
Oh yeah.
Technology is now we're more reliant on technology than ever before.
Yeah.
So for the folks that didn't really care about it now are looking into it heavily, and others that have been doing it, they want to improve it, and so forth, right? There are all
Hmm.
kinds of things going on, and at the same time, you have the folks that know what they're talking about, the folks that don't really know, but and all
Yeah.
that going on. So some folks will ask, what is the advantage though for me, right? What's the advantage? Because yeah, I'm building my brand. I don't care about video,
Right.
right? I can be
Well,
as effective without using it. What do you say to people like that?
I mean, and that's I never want to make anybody feel bad for anything like that. But I would say again, if we go back to almost everybody I know has a phone that has a camera. Now, I'm an Apple guy, but I pray for you Android people, and I'm just joking. But you know, people love. I think it's been this way for a while, but people crave authenticity and they want real. And if you're a business and you can pull out your phone and just all of a sudden show somebody like, hey, here's a work day, here's a shot of my life, hey, let me just talk to you about something I'm struggling with and things like that. Now, I'm not selling to you. I'm just being real. All of a sudden, it just opens up a door. I worked with a guy who builds homes, and he had never done video in his life, and he was he was so nervous, but he thought, it's about time. I want to do
Mm-hmm.
some video, but he was so nervous, and so we did a story video, what I call them, and just a little bit about him. And I asked him a question in there, and it was a question we hadn't planned, and I said, so what's a good day for you? And he was like, wow. And he really had to think about it, and that became like a very important part of that video when introducing him. And then he really got into it, and then he saw the potential, and then we started talking about maybe some of his customers who he had stacks and stacks of emails, and I said, well, let's talk to some of them and see if they'll go on camera as a
Mm-hmm.
testimonial. He goes, I don't know. And I'm like, just ask them. They were lined up. They loved it. They loved it, and guess
I
what? They
love
see
that.
themselves on the video. It's a little ego thing. So yeah, I think the more people see that and then see others and then see themselves, it's funny, we consume video all the time, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's Netflix, even if it's somebody sending us a funny video or whatever. I'm not a big TikTok fan, but there's still, you can get on there and you can kill some time, right? It's
Right.
video. Then why not use it? Why not be in there? Even if you don't know what you're doing, just get out there and try it and see what happens, and you can get in it in a very inexpensive price point. That's the cool thing. You just
Yep.
can,
Yep.
and then you can ramp up if you need to or want to.
And that's the beauty of it because,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, even our cell phones today are giving us unimaginable quality, resolution. It's just amazing the type of resolution we can get now from whether it's Android or
Yeah.
iPhone, it doesn't matter,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Recording in amazing quality. We literally have a high quality camera
Oh yeah.
in our hand, in our
Yep.
pockets, our backpacks, and,
Yep.
and stuff like purses and all that as we're moving. And we don't know that, we don't sometimes realize the power of
Yep.
communication. Because back in the day, you work in television and also have a background in television as well, it cost a lot of
Oh.
money to
Oh.
advertise or
Yeah.
communicate, just for a 10 to 15-second ad.
Oh,
But
I
today
mean,
you can
JP,
carve your
yeah.
way.
Yeah, I remember being at a station that we got our very first high definition camera, very first. Now it was huge, right? I mean, huge. I mean, it wasn't like in your pocket. I want to say it cost 50 to 75,000. I mean, it was something insane. We had two.
Oh boy.
The chief engineer, the guy who basically kept the station on the air, he kept them locked into his office. You had to go and almost be interviewed just to check it out and take it somewhere to shoot it. And then it wasn't you had to process it and everything, and it was just insane. And now my iPhone shoots 4K as good as any other camera, and we can use that. And and I don't know about you, but I've never ever once ever had a client say, "Now, what camera are you using?" They don't care. They because a lot of times they want to know how much it's going to cost first before anything, But they're more concerned about what can I do with it, and what's it going to get me. And they'll talk about the ROI and stuff like that. But if I shoot something with an iPhone, they're looking at the end result, and if they're like, "Wow, that's exactly what I was looking for," they never come back and go, "Now what? You didn't use your phone, did you?" Because I'm not going to pay you to
No.
use your
And
phone.
see,
It's
that's
like,
the
no.
thing, because as you're providing end result now, granted, I do have
Hmm.
some
Hmm.
projects and different things where the client will specifically request
Yep.
or ask what type of gear you're going to use to shoot that. That's more in the cinematic industry because I'm a cinematographer. But when we're talking about just video, general video production and different things like
Yeah.
that, you're doing for the web, YouTube, and different things after you shot it or once you present a final product,
Hmm.
they're just looking at the overall masterpiece that you put together,
Yeah.
and they want to understand, oh snap, how did you do that? Not okay, which lens, which camera do you use to put that
Yeah.
together? Now, not
Yeah.
really, unless you have a different type of project. So what you're
Yeah.
saying is, it is so true. Now we're gonna go ahead and take an ad break, and when we come back, I actually want us to talk about, okay, what are the steps to take in order to really improve our brand with video, right? What are you going to tell us to do? Why are we missing those type of things, right? Tangible, actionable steps. And we want to take a look at your behind the scenes, right? We're talking about
Okay.
video,
Yeah.
and I know folks are listening to this. If you want to watch the behind the scenes, you're going to have to hop on YouTube later. And it's just an interview with Kevin Kolbe. Come on JP Hightek Reviews YouTube channel to watch it. We're about to check that out, talk about that. So stay with me. We'll be right back.
Hey man, this is DJ Strick, and you're watching Content Creators University with JP Hightek. Man, don't miss a thing. Stay right here.
Yes, yes,
Welcome to the
yes.
show.
Good to be here, man. Good to be here. This is amazing, man. This space you've created, phenomenal, bro. Absolutely
Appreciate it.
phenomenal. I'm excited to be here, man.
Thank you,
Excited.
sir.
Content Creators University, man. Woo! It's good
Yes,
to be here.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the show, Lenita.
What a pleasant surprise. Thank you for the welcome and for the amazing introduction.
Hey, family, I want to welcome you back right here. I've been with my guest. And of course, like I said earlier, if you are appreciating this type of videos, go ahead and smack the like button down there. This is what we do every single week. If you like it, then I want to hear from you as well. Go ahead and remember that the podcast is available on any platform, Content Creators University. And what we've been doing is discussing with our special guest, Kevin Kolbe, and he's been talking to us about the concept of building our brand using video. Why is it that video is so important? We've been discussing about the way video can impact, people and your potential clients and customers or just followers, and the communication aspect of it and how powerful that can be for your brand. And now we're about to talk about actual actionable steps, right? What can we physically do in order to really improve or build our brand or grow it if you already have one? So I want to thank you, Kevin, for all the knowledge and wisdom you've been giving us. I really, really appreciate that.
No, I'm
So
happy to be here. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Now let's talk about that, right? Now we're ready to know, okay, Kevin, what do I need to do, right? Do I need to just start producing videos on YouTube every single day, or what's your approach?
So, first of all, I mean, there's a lot of things. One, I think assuming you've got a business or you're already an entrepreneur, or maybe you're just starting over. I mean, there's so many things you can do. Is one, I think pick a platform, pick a platform. I think the mistake a lot of people make, I've been there too. You try and do everything everywhere. And what's going to happen is unless you're Gary Vee and you've got this, 20 guys following you around, then you're going to burn out and you're going to halfway do things. And then you're going to think, well, none of this really works. And it can work. Now, it takes work, don't get into hacks and all that other stuff because, trying to game the algorithm. But
Mm-hmm,
for me,
mm-hmm,
there is no platform like YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine. It's a search engine. A lot of times it doesn't even get lopped into social media because it's a search engine, and your stuff lives there forever. And people can find it, and you can reach people wherever. Now, I mean, I love Facebook. I'm on Twitter, and I play some with Instagram. But find a platform and learn it and try it and work it and understand though things like YouTube. It's, if you get in there and you're going to just upload 20 something videos in a couple of months and go, well, nobody's watching, it doesn't work, then you don't understand YouTube. It takes a while, and don't worry about the huge channels and all those other ones. Take your time and keep growing and keep trying. No, I would never recommend daily. I don't ever have never participated in the vlog, vlog every day in April or vlog every day in December or something like that.
mm-hmm.
I think that's a quick way to burn out and a quick way to just grow tired of what's going on, as opposed to trying some things. Now, the reality of it is, I mean, I personally try and upload a video a week. Sometimes I haven't gotten to a video. Sometimes life happens. I actually did one today I wasn't anticipating doing. We'll see how it goes. But I would say pick a platform and just really crank away at it. And again, I'm going to always be a proponent of YouTube, because YouTube can be your core, and then you can take it and share it other places. You can turn it into a podcast and things like that. And I know if somebody's like, well, you just said pick a platform. I think a podcast is a different type of medium, but again, it will take time, and understand that even if you're just pulling out your phone and, just riffing on something and uploading it, it still takes time. So that's one. But then you get into gear and things like that, I would say at some point you want to look at some gear, like maybe a microphone. I mean, the most important part of video is audio. If they can't hear you, it doesn't matter. People will put up with really crappy looking video, but if they can't hear you, they're just going to move on.
True,
Uh,
true.
but another
Mm-hmm.
part is too, is being yourself. If I mean, like, I like Casey Neistat, and I love Peter McKinnon. But you know what? I don't want to subscribe and watch a guy trying to be Peter McKinnon, or trying to be
Mm-hmm.
Casey Neistat, or trying to be JP Hightek, because you are you, and don't try and be somebody else. I mean, there's a great quote by, is it Oscar Wilde, that said, be yourself. Everybody else is already taken. And I think people
Love that.
forget that can become their superpower, is what they have and their story and stuff like that. So pick a platform, maybe use what you've got to start doing it and start experimenting. I mean, I've actually thrown this out, and this is a little hard to do if you're just starting out based on some platforms. But go live before you're ready, because ain't nothing going to get you ready than going live when you ain't ready.
Yep,
But
yep,
you see
yep.
what I mean? And then all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
you start going, wow, I lived. That was pretty cool. And let me see what I want to do next and go from there.
Yeah, I'm loving what Summarize put in the comment section. Hashtag be yourself. That's
Hmm.
exactly what it's all about. And hey to you as well, Rob Balasabas. Thanks for joining us in the comment section. And also Walter Strong. Good evening to you as well. So true what you're saying, Kevin. I mean, I'm resonating with every single thing you're saying. Is there's a unique you,
Yeah.
and when it comes down to your business, we're understanding that you can only win by posting videos about your business, your services, than not
Yeah.
doing it, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't do it, fine. There are other ways you can promote and expose your business to more potential clients. But by doing it, like you just said, Kevin, that
Yeah.
understanding that YouTube is a search engine owned by Google,
Yeah. Yeah.
and taking that approach and knowing that, oh, snap, as I'm posting my stuff on Google, I should think about YouTube as well, because as they're searching for things on Google, they're going to
Oh
find my
yeah.
product and services because I made it available, and
Yeah.
having that living there forever is more exposure to your brand that you didn't have before.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about growth, then being laser focused on one thing at a time, unless you're doing multi streaming and different things like that, of course there's a different conversation and there's a different mindset to doing
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I'm loving what you're saying. Now, of course, I know some folks will be like, well, gear all the time, because
Gear,
even
gear,
though
gear.
everybody will tell you, yeah, you don't have to spend a lot of money on the fanciest camera, we love the nicest setup. Well, talking about that, we want to look at your setup. What are you using? First of all, before you show us your behind the scenes, what mic are you using, and what boom pole is that?
So I'm using the Rode Pod mic, and one of the things that I probably am guilty of is I get my setup the way I like it, and then I'll change it. I keep playing with different things. The mic I was using before this is a Samsung Q2U. It's like $70.
Fantastic
And it's a
microphone, by the way.
phenomenal mic. It's a phenomenal mic. So somebody might, well, why'd you change? Because I mean, that's what I do. I don't know. But this is a Rode Pod mic. It's called an XLR mic. So it's plugged into an audio interface, and it's got a good sound. Ironically, I think the Samsung sounds a little better. But this is also on a Rode. It's called a Rode PSA boom arm. I have no idea why. In my world, PSA meant public service announcement. I don't know what that means. But that's what it's hooked to, and it's nice. I can swing it out of the way, and
Right.
I've had other boom arms before. It's fairly quiet. It's starting to get a few creaks in it, like me. But it's the only boom arm I've ever used that wherever I move it, it stays.
True. And I
And
have the same thing right here as well. Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's huge. That's huge. I tell you, unless you've had that moment where the boom arm is kind of creeping up on you. But that's it. Yeah,
Right.
and believe it or not, the cord is just an Amazon Basics cord, because I needed a longer cord to wrap around.
Well, go ahead and show us your behind the scenes if you don't mind.
All
Let's
right,
see
we
what you
practiced
have.
this. Let's see if it works. Now, this is I'm going to tell everybody this is rough. Right before we went on, JP said, "Hey, do you have a behind the scenes camera?" And one of the things
True.
I've been doing is, I joke that I'm a bad practicing minimalist. But I've been recently just starting to really question about how much gear I need, and what am I using it for. And I told JP before we went on, I just recently sold 8 lenses, and there
Right.
was nothing wrong with them. It's just they were collecting dust. So I'm experimenting all the time. So anyway, just something to think about. So right now, and I'm using, I just picked up the, here, I'll go back to this. I just picked up the iPhone 13. I didn't go for the Pro. I didn't go for the Pro Max. I did go and hold them all, and the Pro Max was bigger than me. But I thought I had an 11, and I went with the Pro because of some of the newer things it has and the cinematic feature that I
Right.
like. So that's what oops, and see, I clicked off, and there we go. And I'm using, and how I'm using this is plugged right there, just the cord. In fact, you can kind of see it right there. And I'm using an app that I think is $5 or something, called Shoot Clean Camera Feed. But I'm going to get a little away from the mic. Here's the mic right here. I'll get right here. But this mic is plugged into this right here, and it's called a Elgato Wave XLR. And this is it. I mean, there's a knob for your when you push that, there's the mic, the headset, and then that mixes it. But one of the things I love, now when I do this, it's going to mute it, but watch. That's how easy it is to mute it. So
Nice.
I can actually mute it and maybe clear my throat or cough or something like that while we're doing that. And I recently, and in fact, I gotta go back to me. So JP kind of called me out on this. He goes, "Dude, your camera's different." Because I saw you on
Right.
Kirk Nugent, and you had a really good camera, and I still do. So most of my stuff I shoot is most of my YouTube videos are shot on a Canon M6 Mark II. I do shoot my stuff in 4K and then I'll down convert it. But then I also have a Canon M50 Mark II. Like I'm going to be with a client for the next 2 days. We're going to be shooting with that. And I had a second one, and that was my live stream camera. And what I decided to do is go to this. This is kind of meta, right? That's my
Mm-hmm.
camera. This is the Elgato Face Cam, and I just got it. Literally got it yesterday and plugged it in just to make sure it was working. I didn't want to be like a dweeb on I didn't want to do that to your audience. But literally, it's just connected. It's a USB, and it goes right now into this CalDigit hub. I apologize for the cord. And right now, I'm running everything off of a Mac Mini. Now it's the Mac Mini M1, and I just got the brand new Mac One. What is it? The Mac Pro M1 Pro. I mean, just could it be any more confusing? My lighting is a
I
very
know,
simple
right?
Elgato key light, and I know it sounds like Elgato is sponsoring this part of me, and they're not. But I am a fan of when I find something that works, I use it. Now the irony is, I just want to show this. I think this is kind of funny. These speakers right here. I mean, they're not going to win any award for best sound, but they're like, goodness, these things are like 10-year-old Logitech, $19 speakers, but they sound fine.
Oh snap!
And yeah, I mean, and then other things I've got here. So like this is the keyboard and the mouse. This
And
is
then I see the Stream
a
Deck
yep,
from
Stream Deck
Elgato again.
from Elgato. They should pay me, shouldn't they?
I know.
And one of the things, like if you're using Ecamm, you can use it a lot for scenes. StreamYard now is starting to use it too. But if you notice here, you can kind of see it. I use it for shortcuts for a lot of different things. So like there's
Hmm.
YouTube, Google Drive, my mail, Soundstripe, and stuff like that. And I just find it very easy to use that way. So, and then I guess the last thing I can show you is I recently upgraded to a ultra wide curved monitor. So this is an LG, I think it's a 34 inch. Um, and the reason I did that is because I wanted more real estate. I mean, I've had a couple of monitors before,
And
and I
that's
just
it right there,
found,
right on the website.
oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
And I just found that for me, I'd kind of resisted getting a curved and a large and a wide screen, and I kept doing a lot of research on it. And I thought, I'll just get it. There was a good price on it. And oh my word, dude, I love it. Absolutely love it. And it'll go up and down. I also have an electric standing desk. Tonight I'm sitting because I've been standing almost all day, and I hope your audience is okay with it. But I wanted to sit down. But my custom the top was made by a friend of mine who's a woodworker, and he custom made it. And then I just bought the electric guts off of Amazon. So
Wow.
that's the basic setup right now. And again, the reason I went with the face cam, I mean, heck, if you have me on your show in 6 months, it may be a different camera, is I wanted
Right.
just simple. I wanted to be able to turn it on and it was working, and I didn't have to plug into an extra battery and things like that. Now I have everything I need. I can always pull my other camera over, you know. But that's it.
But it works and
that's
it
my
doesn't
current
break the
setup.
bank. And that's the beauty of it, right? Because the pod mic that you're using is about $100, right?
Yeah.
$99, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Rode pod mic, which sounds fantastic, right? The boom pole, the boom arm, the Rode PSA one swivel arm is also around 100 something bucks, not
Yeah.
breaking the bank either. XLR cables are like $10, give or take
Yeah.
on Amazon. And you use that, it connected. I'm not sure. I don't have the wave, So I'm not sure about how much that goes for. I can't remember, but we do have,
I want to say it was around the $100 range too. I mean,
yeah.
it seems like that all that stuff is in there. That one might have been a little bit more. And I got it when it first came out, so
Well,
there
I know
weren't
folks
weren't a
that
ton of
wanna
reviews.
they wanna dive into the link, your list of gear and all that, because I see Samurai just put it on the screen. Samurai's put it in the comment section. Say, hey, Kolbe, can you list the mic and boom arm because I need that. So what I will do, folks, is that we'll make sure we put those things in the comments in the video
Yeah.
description. Or the podcast description, so folks can go ahead and take a look at it. I'll make sure to get the links from our guest so that I can list it there to support what he's doing. So fantastic. Thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed it. We've gotten to the end. I can't believe we got to the end of our interview today. But I can't let you go without actually asking you, hey, for the folks that want to connect with you more, where should they go? Right? Where
Well,
are the places you recommend?
yeah, I mean, I'd love you if you guys wanted to check out my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Kevin Kolbe, my name. And I do videos about video, about creating video and how to use video and tools I use and things like that. And I'd love to connect with you there. And if you want to subscribe, that's great. But if you don't, you have a question, just drop it in any one of the videos. My website is kevinkolbe.com. That's kind of my hub. I am a huge proponent that everybody needs a website, period. Your Facebook page ain't your website. YouTube is not my website. You need a website, even if it's just a what I call sometimes a brochure page. I use Squarespace for mine. I've been on WordPress for years. Never used Wix. I hear it's okay, but you need a place where you can land that you own. And there's projects there. There's more about the coaching and stuff like that. Those would probably be the best places. I think. I'm on Twitter and Instagram some, but probably more of my stuff is on consistently on YouTube.
All right, all right. Well, folks, you heard the man. Go ahead and connect with him directly. He posts a lot of videos on his YouTube channel, Kevin Kolbe. If you listen to the podcast, Kevin, Kevin Kolbe's Kolbe. Go ahead and check him out on YouTube and at Kevin Kolbe. Pretty much on any social media, you'll be able to locate him and find him. Instagram, Twitter, or what have you. But like you said, right, go to his website, kevinkolbe.com, and you will be able to, connect with him and also get into his coaching and different things he's doing to help, people, amazing folks, business owners, individuals to grow their brand with video. And fantastic things. So thank you so much for your time, Kevin. I want you to stay backstage as I close, and I'll be back with you. All right, family, this is it, right? This is the Content Creators University. I want to thank you for sticking with us, staying here, and listening to Kevin teach us different things and why he's doing the things the way he's doing them, right? Different perspectives that we're getting every single week in order for us to approach our content creation journey and monetization, business building and creation, all those things that we're doing in a different way, and understand that it takes a whole village to build something phenomenal. And if you appreciate this type of things, well, I want to see you again next week with another amazing guest. Very excited about that. Stick with us, and we have a long journey ahead of us, so that let's all grow together. Like we always say, the day you stop learning, you stop growing. And we want to keep growing, keep learning, and keep elevating our craft. I'll see you next time. You be safe, like I always say. Shalom. Bye-bye, folks.